you're learning nerve innervation to the muscles of the arm and the leg, you've got two different sets of information to learn. On the one hand, you've been learning the peripheral nerve innervation. A peripheral nerve has a name: median nerve, radial nerve, axillary nerve. Nerves with names are the peripheral nerves. And in the arm, for example, one of the shortcuts was MMR, or that little median nerve comes from here, radial nerve comes from here. Like, all of that was to help you with your peripheral nerve innervation. In addition to that, though, I'm making you have some awareness of what problem at your nerve root in your neck would cause issues with you being able to do a particular movement in your arm. That's also nerve. This nerve coming out of your neck goes through a real Texas drink course beer and ends up going to your biceps or to your extensor carpi radialis, blah, blah, blah. So if you're having trouble extending your wrist, it might be because your radial nerve is not getting the signal to it. But it also might be because something is pinching C6, cervical nerve root 6, and that's not letting the signal get to it. So the further you get into your program, we're going to talk about conditions where the symptom is in the hand, but the problem was in the neck. The symptom's in the foot, but the problem's in the low back. And that's what myotomes is, to help you start to understand. So pulling a door open is the one in question here. Pulling a door open, when you're thinking about your peripheral nerves with names, let's look at maybe one of the major actions that happens when you pull the door open and what nerve would have gone to the muscle that does that. And I know you're going to end up with like several, you're like, is she talking about the shoulder extension or the elbow flexion, blah, blah, blah. But once you get to the myotome part of it, like looking ahead, that I'm also going to be asking you about the C whatever, C6, C8, there are only very specific movements that can be directly associated to a numbered cervical nerve. That's why the chicken dance is your bonus assignment. So of the movements that you're going to do for me in your chicken dance, which is only a select few, which of those movements comes into play with opening a door? Like,
are you
name the movement. Yeah. Okay, so let's do a chicken dance.
Elbow flexion and shoulder extension.
Right, but shoulder extension's not part of your chicken dance, is what I meant by that. So since shoulder extension won't help me narrow down to a C2, C5, won't help me with my chicken dance, then it's probably not what I'm fishing for in this question. So the other major movement happening is elbow flexion. Is elbow flexion part of the chicken dance?
Yes.
Yes. It's C6. So if I had a problem with my number 6 cervical nerve root, I would have weakness with the muscles that flex my elbow. And I know that because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, C6 is part of the chicken dance.
I stopped at 3.
So let's temporarily, until we think of something better, we're going to say that means there might be something wrong with C6. In terms of peripheral nerves have names like radial, median, musculocutaneous, axillary, blah, blah, blah. Of those nerves that are listed, which is the one you associate most with the elbow flexors?
Median? The muscular.
So you're on the right track with it being an M. So if you did your M, R, your elbow flexors for the most part are these, and this is musculocutaneous nerve. That second M, median, gets into your wrist and finger flexors, but not your elbow flexors. So that's how we're playing this game. So let's do the next one. Holding a coffee cup would be impaired if thinking of your chicken dance.
Oh, wait.
So you're thinking of which components.
6.
Does anybody hold a coffee cup like this?
No.
Just
mean,
forgot how to hold a
cheers.
coffee cup.
It's not a wine glass. It's a coffee cup. You just woke up. Okay, what do you think I'm fishing for? What movement do you think I'm fishing for?
We got fingers.
Finger flexion. You gotta use your finger flexors.
Oh, to hold that coffee.
In the chicken dance, which dance move are you doing when you use your finger flexors? C8. Finger flexors, ulnar deviators, thumb extensors, C8. So we're going for C8.
Cause it's great.
And then what named nerve would we most associate with
Medium.
giving you use of your finger flexors? Median nerve. Good. Pushing a shopping cart. Oh, she's getting tricky on me.
You always get
Emphasis on
tricky.
pushing. Of your chicken dance moves, which one seems most connected to being able to push anything? C7, which is your elbow extensors. I don't think you're pushing a shopping cart with abduction, which would have been C5. I didn't say pulling, I said pushing, so C6 is not great. C4 is shrugging, so that one doesn't seem relevant. C7, and then what peripheral nerve innervates your elbow extensors?
Oh, the radial.
Right. Everything that's an extensor is radial nerve. Alright.